Today, I am talking about segments in ActiveCampaign. Now, there is segmentation, which is a general marketing word, which means chunks of your people. In ActiveCampaign, segments are a specific type of object. They are critically important for sending campaign emails to a whole bunch of people at the same time that we're going to define with some conditions. It uses the conditions editor, which is the thing where we can specify, I want it to have this tag and this field value and have opened this email that we see all over ActiveCampaign. It is visible to all of the users of the ActiveCampaign account. And when you are sending a campaign email, you can choose to send the campaign email to a segment, as in that particular segment that you've already created, you've already set the conditions and given it a name. Everyone can see it. And now everyone can use it to say, okay, this campaign goes to this segment of our contacts. So rather than thinking of campaigns as things that are sent out to whole lists of your contacts at the same time, just uncouple lists from that and know that you can define a segment of your contacts using the conditions editor. You can save it and give it a name that tells you what it does. And then you can reuse that segment anytime you want to send a campaign email to that chunk of contacts. All you need to do is choose that segment. So let's talk about how you go about making a segment. Well, first of all, you probably need to have a bit of a think about who you're trying to identify within your audience. So let's suppose I send out a regular email to people who are in my world who are interested in cheese and have long hair and joined my world less than a month ago. And I want to email everyone who falls into that group every week or every month or once a year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how often I use it. The point is I can define a group of people by using those conditions. So here's my segment conditions. Tag exists, cheese, so they must like cheese. I've got a custom field which talks about their hair length. So I'm going to specify the hair field must contain the word long, and their joining date must be less than a month ago. So that would be my segment conditions. There are a lot of different places where you can create and access segments in ActiveCampaign. The easiest place to build them is to use advanced search. It's on the contact screen, click in the search bar, choose advanced search, voila, the conditions editor appears. Set your conditions and then run the search to check that your conditions are doing what you think they're going to do. Once you've done that, you can save as segment. Now, segment names. If I were building this segment to find my people who like cheese, have long hair, and joined my membership less than a month ago, I'm not going to use that whole big sentence because that's too many words. It's going to be really hard to find it. So I want to use a shorter version of it and keep it as simple and descriptive as I can. So for this one, I might use recent cheesy long hair people. Once that segment is saved, it appears in a list of your segments. When you are ready to actually use that defined segment, you've tested it, you've saved it as a segment and given it a sensible name so you can see what it does on the tin. Now it means that your ActiveCampaign account users have access to this. So when it's time to draft or send the campaign that you want to go to your recent cheesy long hair people, there is a screen whenever you build a campaign that says, what list are we sending to here? So you would choose one or more lists. I like one list, but then choose a segment. And when you click on the drop down, because you've already created it, that segment name is there ready for you to use. So this makes life a ton easier in ActiveCampaign. Just have a think. What chunks of your contacts, your audience, do you want to be able to email a campaign email to? So it's going to go to all of them at the same time, but it's not the whole list. It's not everybody. It's just a chunk of them. Think of those and go build some segments. Give them a smart name, and you're going to see them then. When you come to send a campaign, you select the list, you're going to see the option to then select your segment within that list. Superpowers. Love that. Just one little note I'm going to throw in here is that when it comes to actual sending time, ActiveCampaign is going to run these conditions. It's going to find all of the contacts that match this, and they have to also be subscribed to this list. If they're unsubscribed from this list, even if they're in this segment, it won't send. It will only send to them if they're subscribed to the list that you selected, as well as being in the segment. Loads of people never find segments or use them in this way. So happy hunting. Go have a think about what segments you can make and use. They are all over ActiveCampaign in lots of ways and places, but they use that conditions editor that we see everywhere. And what this is going to do is liberate you from that thing where you feel you have to have lots of lists in your account. If you use segments, you do not need to have loads of lists because your segments are going to define those chunks of people for you. Happy days.